My bridesmaid duties cost more than my rent, so I walked away.
Yeah, that's too much.
My 28 female friend, 30 female, let's call her B, is getting married to her long-distance boyfriend, 28 male, of 6 months.
Oh, fun. Wait, they've only dated for 6 months?
6 months.
Okay.
By the way, this comes from Amber Doggy 1234, and if you want to submit your own stories, go to the r/OKStorytime subreddit. I'm Angie.
I am Riley, Angie's boyfriend.
That's correct, and we're here to give good advice goofily, but we don't have all the answers. We just know what we would do in these situations, so let us know what you would do in the comments. NOP says, for background, I live in a city about a 16-hour drive away from where B lives. However, the groom also lives in a different city from both myself and the bride, somewhere in between the both of us. She will be getting married on her groom's farm in a different state about 6 hours away from me.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, wow. A couple of days later, all crap breaks loose when B's first list of requirements emerge in the group chat. Are we ready to hear them?
Not a BRIDEZILLA.
These are requirements too.
Not optional?
Doesn't sound like it. Makeup and hair must be professionally done and paid for by bridesmaids. $200 for both, by the way. We must purchase nude flats and we may not wear heels, which is around $30 to $50, as she is worried that she and her groom will look shorter than us. That's funny. We must wear the jewelry of her choice. To be fair to her, she said this would be a borrowed gift to us once she decides what look she's going for. Nails must be bare or in the mauve color that she has selected for her dress. The dress must be from the local boutique, which is a 16-hour drive away or a 3-hour plane flight away from me, and must be floor length with the straps. The boutique doesn't ship, but my sister is picking it up and trying it on and sending pictures. I texted her explaining that I'm traveling for the wedding and I'm happy to pay the accommodation, airfare, and for the dress, but if she was requiring professional makeup and specific non-heeled shoes, that she should pay for the extra things that she wants. I explained that I am happy to pay for the usual things, but that my budget wouldn't allow for professional hair and makeup and new shoes. She said she would speak to her groom about allowing me to stay on the farm property, but that the makeup was non-negotiable. Fast forward again to today. B texts me and says she will have to renege on the offer that she made to me to let me stay in the farmhouse on the night after the wedding. She reserved an Airbnb in the city, which is $200 a night for the wedding party. However, she says she will only be paying for the night prior to the wedding. B tells me that she thinks that I should stay in the Airbnb that she booked since there is a 2-night minimum and she would like the money back.
What?
So she's saying, no, actually, you can't stay in the farmhouse. We have a different place for the wedding party specifically.
That you were required to be at.
Yeah. I'm not going to be in that house because I'm going to be with my mans, but you will have to be there for 2 nights and I want my money back for it. What?
Okay.
I politely declined and said that I would try to find accommodations in the city for the night after the wedding since there are some reasonable places to stay. I asked if there would be anyone to transport me back to the city since no cabs or public transportation will go there. B says that she will not arrange transportation for me unless I stay in the $200 Airbnb and pay her back for the cost of it.
What?
Oh my gosh.
Dude.
She said I may bring a tent or I have to figure it out myself. You can go camping for my wedding? Girl.
That's crazy. Oh my gosh.
That is crazy. I'm more than willing to pay for the dress, transportation, etc. The cost of being in her wedding right now is $1,256, including all travel expenses, the dress, and the extras she's asked for. Am I the a-hole? And we do have an update, but what would you say?
Going to be transparent right now.
Yeah.
For both of us to travel to North Carolina.
Yep.
Plane tickets alone, that is how much it costs.
Yep.
I also had to buy a suit. I'm getting my brother a gift. Weddings are expensive. I am the best man of his wedding. I don't have to pay for accommodations or anything.
That's nice.
But it's going to be around like $1,700 for me, just for me and you to go to my brother's wedding. But if we split that,
obviously less.
It's what, like, oh God, it's like $800, $850. Weddings are just expensive if you don't live there. I live across the country from my brother. Plane tickets are the most, but that's just sort of how being in a wedding is.
Yeah. To be fair, those could have been cheaper if they were just booked a little ahead of time. But
for one person, oh
yeah,
I don't even think you've accounted food, or, buying little things like that.
And a gift. We haven't accounted for a gift either.
It's going to be like $1,500.
Which is a lot of money. And to be fair, I mean, yes, I think a lot of these things, like airfare, like housing accommodations, stuff like that, that is going to cost money regardless, whether you're in the wedding party or not. The extras and stuff, it is hard too, because I think SNL made like a skit about being asked to be a bridesmaid. It's like responsibility and cost that you can't say no to, because how can you say no to being a bridesmaid?
Yeah.
You can't really do that. But at the same time, it's kind of like, well, yeah, it does cost money. It costs money to buy the dress, because that's a requirement. Buy matching shoes. I mean, that also kind of goes along with the dress if there's requirements there. I feel like she doesn't need to care about their nails. She can relax on that. And the makeup, I think she can also relax on. She doesn't need to worry about that. But
it's a lot going on here.
Yeah,
I don't like the attitude of the Bridezilla though.
I think honestly that's the biggest difference. Is because even though like most weddings do just cost a lot of money when they're doing all these things, if the bride is like demanding it, makes the whole thing so much worse than just like asking.
Are you gonna get professionally done makeup?
Probably.
Really?
I don't know. I mean, I do a good job of doing my own makeup.
I don't think you need professionally done.
It depends. I have thought about like, there are some artistic makeup people that I follow online. I thought it might be cool to do something like cool and artistic for a wedding, but I'm not decided.
You could go like this.
Got time.
We could just find a top for your skirt and take it to the courthouse.
I did actually make a joke to Savannah today that like, actually, he thinks that his brother's getting married this weekend. It's actually us.
Really?
I joked about it. I'm wearing a white skirt, by the way. I joked about it.
I mean, we could.
Not what's happening.
If you want.
Not this weekend. But anyway, OP has an update here. Since one user said they would summon an internet ghost to haunt me if I was a bridesmaid in this wedding, here's the unsolicited update. After taking a day or two to think it through, I texted my friend and explained to her the following summarized. I think she's a great friend, and we have a lot of great memories together. I was excited to make a new one on her big day. That being said, I couldn't afford the expenses that she required, such as professional hair, makeup, specific shoes, and the chosen Airbnb. I explained that the $1,200 it would cost to attend is over my budget, and I simply could not afford the things that she's asking for.
Okay, that's fair.
I don't want to put her in a position where she would be compromising on things that she wanted to accommodate my budget, so the best thing for me to do was to bow out of being a bridesmaid right now so she can have ample time to find a replacement. I also explained that I had some concerns with how I was going to get off the farm after the night of the wedding, since she said that she would only offer transport if I stayed in the shared $200 Airbnb. She was unsure who else would be staying there. I said I have to be in court for a trial 2 days after the wedding, and while I'm usually very flexible, I couldn't leave that part to chance since my career is important to me. By the way, it is important to me that you guys would listen to full episodes of stories just like this one on Spotify, iHeartRadio, Apple Podcasts, or your favorite podcast platform. Just search OK Storytime. There is a little bit more to this story.
I don't like her attitude. I'm only going to pick you up if you, I don't know, pitch in $200 a night for this place.
That is crazy. I think that's the part that irks me the most.
I think the makeup, you have to have makeup. You have to wear this. I don't like this. It's getting into the superficial material things I have not once seen in this story or got a hint of. I'm so glad you're going to be a part of my special day. And I want you to be a part of my special day. That hasn't happened.
Yeah, not that we've known of. I mean, hopefully there's been some of that.
Have you got any hints of that?
Well, I mean, the fact that she's a bridesmaid at all. But we also haven't had too much of the story and too much from B's perspective for that, though.
Okay, but the bridesmaid, I understand monetarily you probably can't do much. We haven't gotten the bridesmaid thing. But if I was the bride, I'd be like, girl, look, I can help with this. I just want you there. I want you to support me.
That is true. She did have a chance to say something like that.
But no.
We haven't heard about that.
You have to be bridesmaid. I will only help you out if you do X, Y, and Z for me.
Yeah, that's tough.
Like, go take out a loan real quick.
Literally. I know. And the fact about like transporting from the farm, it's like, girl, you're the only one I know there. I'm assuming you're just going to leave me there at the farm. I know it's your wedding. I know you are figuring out all of this like stuff. You can't figure that out for everyone. But at the same time, I mean, hello.
And I'm sorry, you're getting married after 6 months of doing long distance.
That's true. I do wonder too. So public transport can't go out to where the wedding is. I do wonder though about the state's car rentals options though. Because what if OP
we
could
can't
just
get into that.
that's what I'm thinking is an option of like,
I see.
of like something that she could do for transport. Rent a car.
That's a good point.
Obviously that would add more cost, so that is an issue, but it's an option.
Could you save money at a cheaper place?
Yeah, exactly. So there's a little bit more to the story. We get B's response. B responded with the following, and this is summarized. She has been very busy planning her move, doing report cards, she's a teacher, and planning the wedding. She felt that since I am a lawyer, I should be able to afford everything that she's asking for. For reference, I am a very new government lawyer and have massive student debt. She deserves a bridesmaid who will meet her expectations and be able to support her. I'm not sure how to respond to her or if I will, but I do think I dodged a bullet, or at least a trip to Crazy Town. Thank you so much to all of you who convinced me to not attend this disaster. You have saved me $1,200 and 6 months of horror. Okay, wait a second. So to me, that last response sounded like, I thought I'd be able to afford it, or I thought you'd be able to afford it, but I guess you just can't be a bridesmaid then.
That's crazy.
But also, though, OP offered that. I mean, I'm sure with her tone and whatever.
That's why you call. You don't do this over text. You call people.
Yeah, it's true. But from what we got, it honestly doesn't seem that bad of a response from B. It seems like, well, yeah, I shouldn't be a bridesmaid. I should just attend the wedding, like OP suggested. But she didn't say that. I don't like it. She didn't say that, though. It sounds like OP's just not going. So that was probably just implied.
I don't like it.
Her thing.
Anyways, that could have been handled a lot better.
See, and that's why I always imagined like having a lot of money before I get married, is because I don't want to put my bridesmaids in this situation. I don't want to put them in the situation of like, oh, you have to do this, you have to do that. I want to be able to like pay for it.
Yeah.
At least in like some capacity. But we'll get there when we get there. But that's the end of that story. We've got another one coming right up.
My friend demanded I bleach my hair for her wedding. I think it's crazy.
That is a lot to do.
So I, 25 female, am meant to be in the bridal party of my friend Zoe's 26 female's wedding in December of 2024. A couple of days ago, she met with me and the rest of the bridal party to discuss what the plan was for hair, makeup, and dresses. Fair.
Sure.
By the way, this comes from Bleach Ya Problem. And if you want to submit your own stories, go bleach it on r/OKStorytime subreddit. I'm Riley.
I'm Angie.
We're here to be funny, and you're here to discuss things down below. We don't really know that much. Opie says, at first it seems reasonable. She's going for a winter wonderland type of vibe. So blue dresses, all in different shades, lined up as a gradient. Interesting. With silver accents, snowflake jewelry, soft makeup. Even blue contacts for those of us who without blue eyes.
Oh my gosh.
Okay, and the last one's a bit weird. It's also no big deal to me, but I have one color contacts for Halloween. The bit that ended up being an issue for me is that Zoe requested we all get our hair dyed. A couple of members of the bridal group are natural blondes with dyed ends, and so is Zoe, but she wants to go platinum for the wedding. The rest of us are two brunettes. A strawberry blonde. She wasn't blonde enough. A redhead. I'm one of the brunettes, and I'm the only one in the group who has never dyed or bleached their hair.
Oh boy.
Sorry, she wants blue eyes and bleached hair.
Someone call Sydney Sweetie. Someone get Sydney Sweetie's team on the phone. That is pretty wild. Blue contacts. You can have the same Winter Wonderland gradient look just with the dresses, my guy. You do not need everyone to look the same. I'm assuming all these friends are white.
Well, let's get into it some more. I've considered it, but I can never stay settled on what I would do. I'd hate to spend money on something that I would end up hating. On top of that, my mom spent from ages 5 to 13 flat ironing my hair almost every single day.
Oh my God.
It really damaged my hair. I'm almost certain it's resulted in my hair being thinner than it used to be. I know bleaching can damage your hair, and I don't feel comfortable taking that risk yet. I told Zoe I wouldn't be able to dye my hair. She insisted that it would be fine. My hair seemed quite healthy, and she would be paying for the bleaching treatments for all of us. I again said no. Thanks so much, but I can't. I asked if I could just wear a wig, and she said no. The wigs are cheap and unnatural, and she wants us to have our real hair bleached instead of some cheap imitation for the day. But that's not natural.
Also, there are more expensive wigs out there. And I'm assuming this was like this is an older post. There were still expensive wigs back then that you could have gotten that were probably the same amount of money as bleaching your hair.
After more back and forth, she told me I should go home and think about the fact that I'm ruining her vision, that I'd be ruining the photos and the wedding video that she and her fiance, 30 male, will be putting together for his grandparents, 84 male and 82 female, to view, since they won't be able to fly in from Argentina.
That is such a crazy thing. They will not even notice.
I apologized, paid for my meal, and left.
Good.
I really don't want to dye my hair, but I also don't want to ruin Zoe's perfect picture day. I don't think I'm being difficult or wrong here, but am I? We got an edit. OP, you're being unreasonable. Just dye your hair.
You think?
Oh, yeah. Get blue contacts. You know what? If you already have a tan, do whatever you can to untan yourself. Keep yourself in a dark hole for up until the wedding to be really pale, to really get that snow effect on. I would honestly probably move to Antarctica or Alaska for the next little bit so you can really prepare yourself to get in the winter mindset.
Honestly, that is a good idea. And the fact that she's not willing to do that is really unreasonable.
Take it a step up. Do you really support your friend? Do you really want to embody her vision?
Go home and think about that. That is so crazy to, like, everything that she was adding on to this thing. It's like, you're going to ruin the pictures. You're going to ruin the video. By the way, we're putting this video together for his grandparents that can't come in because they're in Argentina. And think about that. You're going to ruin their experience now. These poor Argentinian grandparents.
Why can't they come in? Also, if you're getting a video, it's probably going to cost like $3,000 or $4,000 if it's good and you're putting all this stuff into it.
Maybe.
Just fly them in and get a caretaker. I don't know.
Honestly, if it's too much money to... I'm assuming it's like money or...
You could probably...
Maybe it's like passport. It could be that too.
You know those dogs they put in those wagons and they push around? You could do that with your grandparents.
Yeah.
That big of a deal to you.
They get a little stroller.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then whenever you come around, they can just block their view of you.
There you
so
go.
They don't have to see you, and then they can still enjoy this whole mystical wonderland.
Here you go. Yeah. Easy. Figured it out.
For a little clarification on how things stand and what's expected, I'm still a 6 to 7 on the hair color scale. The hair color scale.
Yes, so I'm assuming the lower the number, the darker the hair. I'm assuming. I've not seen this scale before.
Boom, it goes to 11.
Okay, wow.
Okay,
so 9 or 10.
On the hair color scale, OP's a 6 to 7. The other brunette is a 5. Zoe wants the 6 of us to be at a 9 to 10. She only wants herself to be platinum. She currently sits at a 10 on the scale. Also, I do not have dark eyes. My eyes are green. 2 of the other girls do have light brown eyes, though. Edit 2, I woke up to this thread being locked and full of so many comments to read. Guess it's a good thing I don't have work today. I want to go ahead and thank everyone for their effort to help give me advice. I'm going to try and meet up with Zoe in a few days and speak to her about this whole mess and see if we can find a compromise that doesn't involve Bleach. If you still have any thoughts or advice, I'm going to slap a copy of this post onto my profile. I'm going to try and filter the comments to Q&As and some questions after. Thanks again. We have an update. I met with Zoe yesterday.
Oh boy. Here are my thoughts on this.
What is it? Fashion designer, Angelina?
With my knowledge of hair care.
Yes.
Someone's got brown hair. Like, like say your hair. Okay.
I am a 5.2.
Is that right? You might be darker.
4?
I don't know. Maybe a 5. I don't know. You cannot just bleach that to be that bright blonde in one session because that's going to fry your hair. It's not going to get the color that you want. When people who have darker hair or just brown hair at all, every hairstylist suggests to come in multiple times, like 3 to 7 times, getting your hair done to lightly like inch it up lighter and lighter and lighter because you can't just keep your hair in one go. You know, are you listening to me?
Yes, you can't. You have to do it multiple times.
Yeah.
You can't. Yeah. Yeah.
Because it's that dangerous and it's that like bad for your hair.
Dangerous?
Well, dangerous for your hair.
Okay, I was like, this could kill you?
No, not dangerous, but
oh my God.
it's just that bad for your hair.
How many people have been doing this?
No.
that more than
But
the Mount Everest?
you could get chemical burns too from bleaching your hair.
If like a 4-year-old is doing it to you.
Well, no, I think I've gotten some chemical burns.
Again, probably 4.
She was very, very good hairstylist, and I've gotten her multiple times. I just didn't tell her when it burned because I wanted it to be bleached. Not a good idea. You shouldn't do that. But I did it. So yeah, this is just, it's not good for your hair. You're going to have to do it multiple times. I wonder if this girl even knows that she would have to pay for multiple sessions of this. And it's not just like a one and done thing. And then what? Are you going to pay for it to be brown again after that? Are you going to pay for like my hair care stuff after that too? Because now my hair is fried. And she did say that her hair is thin already, so it's probably not going to hold up super well.
So let's see. I think Zoe kicks her out.
I think it's possible.
Met with Zoe yesterday. We talked things over. I pointed out a lot of things that were brought up in the comments and presented them as concerns of me and a couple of my friends that we have, and not the concerns of the online millions that saw it. Turns out, she's part of those millions.
She saw the post? Oh my gosh.
Someone sent her one of those TikToks that Reddit post was read, and she's been thinking about some things.
Oh my gosh, there's more of us out there that read her story.
She told me she felt a little embarrassed about all of this being out there online, even if nobody knew who we were, and I apologized. I explained that I didn't really have many people who weren't involved in the wedding to speak to about this. I needed the advice. She also apologized and said that she realizes now that the bleaching was completely out of line.
All right, dude, if TikTok had a hold of this, I wonder how many crazy comments she had about wanting everyone to have bleach blonde hair and blue eyes.
She probably had 3 to 4 threats.
At least.
I got a pretty bad rap on Reddit recently.
You did? For what?
Being myself. People call me misogynistic and that you're coddling me.
Oh.
Yeah.
Coddling you, like letting you be misogynistic?
Mm-hmm. And you have to do damage control all the time.
Well, sometimes you don't know how to explain things quite right, and I just have to explain. I know what you mean,
okay.
And I just have to translate it a little bit, so that might be what people are seeing.
Who knows? Everyone, am I misogynistic? Gotta go
He's
back.
not, guys.
Gotta go back to all my lads. Go hang out with my lads now.
No.
Can't hang out with women anymore. She said that since she's the only one who bleached their hair once, and because she's naturally blonde to begin with, she didn't know anything about the process for bleaching dark hair and didn't know it would be so difficult.
Knew it.
Take so long and could cause so much damage. She said, looking back, knowing what she knows now, she feels like she was a huge witch. I reassured her that she wasn't a witch. She was just uneducated and passionate about something, and we clashed. We hugged it out, and things are all good now. About the wigs, there will be none. She's scrapping the group blonde idea. I convinced her that she would stand out far better if her whole bridal party wasn't blonde, and that dark hair and red hair would work amazing with her winter theme.
It really would.
The contacts are also being scrapped unless any of us decide they still want to use them. They're very piercing blue and kind of cool looking. Also, the grandparents, Zoe said Frank's family in Argentina isn't of German descent, so nothing to wonder or argue about. She was, however, horrified when she put all those pieces together and thought about it and how it looked. She had been really thinking about Elsa vibes, not Aryan Nation vibes. And that embarrassed her more than the story about being out there herself. She didn't even know Nazis fled to South America after World War II.
You know, I actually didn't know that either.
Dude, they went everywhere.
Yeah.
Most of them started working for NASA.
Really? No way.
Those German Nazis were smart.
Dang.
They had a lot of leeway to do a lot of experiments.
It's true, they sure
Gotta
did.
put those working minds to work.
Yikes.
So through the 50s and 60s, there was just weeding out of a lot of those people.
Really?
They'd hunt them down.
Yeah, dude, TikTok flamed her butt. I just know it.
Zoe has officially messaged everyone in the bridal party to let them know about the change of plans and to apologize for the outburst and the stress this put on everyone. She is also very excited for us to all come up with the hair and makeup look and to go dress shopping. Also, those who asked the groommen were being held to the same standard. I don't know. And after finally getting this whole fiasco over with, I didn't care to ask. Zoe and I made up. Everything's fine now. Sorry if this update wasn't the crazy story everyone wanted, and was looking forward to. We have an edit, October 1st. I considered whether or not I should post this because I feel effing awful. But I think I just need to get it out there. Zoe's wedding has been called off.
What?
Oh.
What? This is a whole new story now.
The engagement has been broken off, and there's no telling if Zoe and Frank will ever have a relationship at the end of this. To keep things short, this is all secondhand from Zoe via text. Zoe went to Frank the next day to talk to him about everything. He had been gone until the next morning after. She and I met up to a work thing. Turns out 3 of his groomsmen, including the best man, have already started the bleaching process.
Oh no, they were gonna do their hair too? Oh my God.
It went well of 2 of them, as they are both pretty light-haired, though not quite blonde. His best man, Brandon, however, has orange hair now.
Oh my God.
It's not terrible, but it's not great either. In addition, it's patchy because he did it at home with the buddy
Oh no.
while they were both drinking, and now he has to go to a salon to get it fixed. Plus, his hair already feels fried.
Oh no.
They called it off because of this, because of these idiots. By the way, don't be an idiot and listen to more stories like this so you don't do the same thing. Just go to OK Storytime on iHeartRadio, Spotify, or Apple Podcasts. We have a little bit more of this fiasco. I am so glad we figured this out.
Oh my gosh.
They were going to do it too. What the
They were gonna do it too. And I mean, it sucks because it's like, I'm kind of thinking like, well, they shouldn't have bleached their own hair at home while they were wasted.
Yeah.
But if they don't know anything about hair stuff, how are they supposed to know? These poor guys. I mean, it sure is probably already fried because you're using at-home box bleach. I'll do my own hair, but that's the one thing I will go into a salon for is to bleach my hair because I just don't even want to mess with it.
Dude.
That sucks.
This is a TV show.
This truly is.
This is like something that happened on Friends.
I really need to know how this turned into a divorce though, or calling off the wedding.
OP continues. Frank told Zoe that since half of his side has taken the plunge, and because it effed up Brandon's hair for the moment, that the rest of the bridal party, and he apparently singled me out by name, need to suck it the F up and get it done.
Oh my God.
This resulted in a huge argument. Zoe called off the wedding, and Frank ended the engagement. Zoe's sleeping at her parents' place, and they have not spoken since. OP, you caused this.
OP, this is all your fault. Just kidding, but...
I feel awful. I know I have a right to boundaries and autonomy and crap. I know this isn't my fault, but I feel like if I'd never make such a big deal out of things and just gone through with it, this never would have happened. No, this was a test between Frank and Zoe.
Yeah.
They failed the test.
Yeah.
If they're going to let someone have an opinion and it ruins it to this point, and it's not even a bad opinion, it was just a concern, and they let someone outside of their engagement ruin that, and now they're calling it off.
Yeah.
That's for the best of both of them.
Honestly, yeah. If they can get into a big argument over this kind of stuff, then their relationship was already on the rocks.
Think 5 years from now while they're married. Will they last that long?
Yeah.
Now let's think 10. There's kids.
Yeah.
There's kids involved.
Right.
Thank goodness you said something. You caused
Honestly.
both of them from getting so much hurt.
And honestly, what they could have done too is like gone to get it done again and like fixed, but like just get it brown again.
So how does he not
But
see
they
how
just
hilarious
didn't
this
know.
is? Yeah.
Honestly, yeah. We can laugh about this, guys.
What's cheaper? Canceling a wedding or getting a divorce?
Canceling a wedding.
There we go.
Assume.
OP, you did the right thing and you won't be able to see it for the next years to come.
Yeah.
We got another story.
Yes, we do. My Oscar rant cost me all of my friends, and I still think I was right.
All of them?
Every year for the past 8 to 9 years, me and my friends have had Oscar viewing parties to watch the Academy Awards. We would watch the ceremony, and we'd even make a betting pool and see who gets the most correct predictions for who wins the awards. But this year, I decided to not watch the ceremony. By the way, this comes from Ham Spider, and if you want to submit your own stories, go to the r/OKStorytime subreddit. I'm Angie.
I'm Riley.
And we're here to give good advice goofily, but we don't have all the answers. We just know what we would do in these situations, so let us know what you would do in the comments.
This is the equivalent of a guy not filling out a March Madness bracket.
Oh, yeah? It's like,
oh, yes.
What would the reaction be? Like, oh, what, you think you're better than us?
Bro? What's
Yeah.
going on, man? People would get pretty defensive.
Oh, yeah?
Oh, yeah.
Like, what are you trying to say about our March Madness?
Or like not doing the NFL draft, not doing a fantasy draft.
Would it just come off like you're better than everyone else, or what would it?
It'd be weird.
Okay. But OP says, I think the show is going to have a lot less personality without a host. I hate that they're not even going to televise some of the awards presentations, and I just think we have a weak batch of nominees, especially in the Best Picture category. I have more reasons to not watch it, so that's what I'm going to do this year.
I think you don't want to lose money.
Oh. I went over to his apartment to tell my friend who was hosting the viewing party this year that I'm not watching and I won't be coming over to his place on Oscars night. He was actually pretty upset. He accused me of breaking tradition and he said that I have to watch it and come over. I told him that I have no interest in this year's ceremony and that I don't want to watch it.
This is so dramatic.
And what does my friend do? He actually calls an emergency meeting, that's in quotes, and invites over one other friend to tell him about this situation.
You know, I wish a friend would do this for me.
Honestly, that's kind of nice. You say you're not going to hang out with them and they call it an emergency meeting because you're not going to hang out. Because that's really what it's about, man. It's not about the Oscars. It's about just spending time with your bros. Come on.
I love this.
I
you
do
know what?
too.
Opie, you're the a-hole.
Opie, already? You're the a-hole. The other friend arrives, and they're both pissed at me for not wanting to go to the viewing party. And then one of them tried to guilt trip me into going by saying that these viewing parties are the best way to stay connected as friends, see? And I decided to just use my nuclear option.
Okay, again, everyone's being dramatic here.
I told them that we must have a pretty crappy friendship if the Oscars are the only thing keeping us connected.
Dude, holidays are the only thing that keeps families connected. Come on, OP.
Yeah.
You gotta have something.
Come on. One of my friends then said that I'm not watching simply because I'm jealous that a lot of the movies I liked didn't get nominated for Best Picture. So
Ooh.
I started attacking his taste in movies.
Dude, OP.
Oh.
Oh my god, they are these people.
Who are these people?
The cinephilias or...
Oh, yeah.
They're like
Cinephile or
cinephiles.
Something.
Oh my gosh, the mise en scene in this scene is just so compelling and makes me want to see the color red instead of blue.
Yeah.
Like, it's a movie, it's art. Appreciate it. We ain't gotta... We're going after people's tastes? Come on.
Okay. So OP says that his favorite movie of the year was Bohemian Rhapsody. And I said to him, the only reason that it was even nominated is because the main character is gay. That movie is a pile of crap. Then the three of us get into a giant argument attacking each other's favorite movies of 2018. Dang.
I will say, 2018 was not strong.
Yeah.
But the year 2019 is probably one of the strongest groups of films to ever come out. You got 1917, Parasite, Peanut Butter Falcon, Joker, Avengers Endgame.
Oh gosh.
You got so many nice films in the 2019 bracket. 2018, I understand. Best years was 1939, 1969, and 2019.
All the nines. Interesting stuff. I decided to just leave, and I turned to my friends and said, I'm outgrowing you man babies who throw a fit over a stupid award show. And they both said, don't call it stupid. But I kept calling it stupid, and I yelled that I'm never watching the Oscars again, and that they can have their dumb butt viewing parties without me. This is really funny. I love the picture that is being painted here. They're having this giant argument. He storms out, turns around, says, you and your man babies can watch your stupid awards show. Don't call it stupid. Stupid. And they're just like, no. That is what I'm imagining for all of this. Stupid. No.
This is Angie's nomination for the Oscars.
This whole scene right here.
This is wonderful.
I left the apartment in an extremely pissed off mood. And at first I felt good about telling them off like that. But in hindsight, I really feel like crap.
Yeah, that was a crappy thing to do, man.
It was just all crappy, yeah. Not only because of how the fight went, but because I've already lost one friend. I posted the story here about ditching him at Walmart. And it looks like I've lost at least 2 more. I don't even want to think about all of the other friends who usually attend the viewing parties every year. But I still think that my friends were overreacting to my decision. What do you think? Is there any way to undo this? And we do have an update, but who do you think is overreacting here, if anyone? Or all of them?
OP is, because watching the Oscars is more than seeing what's happening, and it's the bonding that you guys have about this certain thing. And since you don't agree with it, doesn't mean, you know, you don't watch the games. It's like with basketball with March Madness. Just because your team didn't make the bracket doesn't mean you don't fill out a bracket. You still enjoy it. You still fill out the bracket and have fun with it.
Just have fun. Yeah.
Yeah. And that's what they want you to do. And that's what you like, get you guys together and get you guys excited. Because in life, you're not as excited as you were as a kid. And you have to go after things that excite you like it did as a kid.
Mm-hmm. That's a good point. Yeah. I think I am inclined to say that everyone's overreacting here. I think I know for sure that you're overreacting. It depends a lot on how things were said, because I have had friends in the past before where it's like they're actually mad at me if I just don't want to hang out one day.
Yeah.
And it's like, guys, I have so much homework to do. Or like I have this and this. Like we've been hanging out all day long and now we're going to add this other thing on here. I'm going to go home. And then they get like actually mad at me. And it's like, guys, I think we don't need to have this kind of friendship, because that friendship was very codependent and very like not healthy. That's definitely one of the signs of it. So I think it is possible that the friends are overreacting in a way that's like, you know,
everyone's being dramatic here.
I like the idea of kind of putting on a show of like, what? Like, you have to hang out with us. You have to like get over here. Come on, man. Because you love them. I like that. I think that's very sweet. If there's absolutely no understanding involved on that end, then I don't like that. And if on his end, OP's end, I don't like much on his end either, of just like, well, you don't have to want to watch it, but just maybe you want to hang out. And maybe just don't be mad. I don't know. It's just this whole conversation could have been playfully joked about.
Yeah.
This whole thing did not need to be like actual mad stuff. You guys, you know that Oscars aren't the only thing that define your relationship, but it is a great thing in your relationship and your friendships and stuff.
It's a community building thing. Just go, dude.
Just freaking go.
Come on.
Just go, or make plans to do something else.
Oh gosh, what's this freaking update?
Well, the comments on the first post kept telling me to just suck it up and attend my friend viewing party.
Yup.
So I went.
Good.
Okay, good. I arrived yesterday about 30 minutes before the ceremony was set to start, and I really tried to get into it and want to be there, but I couldn't. The first half hour of eating junk food and socializing with friends was fine, but the friend who I argued with, the one who was hosting the party, kept ignoring me and wouldn't acknowledge me. Then the ceremony started and I just couldn't get into it. The lack of host was really noticeable and I wasn't quiet about it. I voiced how unhappy I was without a host, but mostly everyone just kept telling me to shut up and watch. I also wasn't going good in my betting pool, so I asked if I could just skip the betting, but the host finally acknowledged me and said out loud, "Imagine being such a sore loser that you want to quit the betting pool just because you've lost only a few bets so far."
Did I freaking call that?
You sure did.
Oh my gosh.
You sure did.
Holy cow.
Which, okay, I don't like how they said it. I think you can just say it like
this is how guys go,
on.
though. They're pretty like, come on, man. Stop being a little wiener.
But it's not. That's what I would prefer. But this is saying, imagine, like, as if this is a hypothetical thing, and it's not happening right here.
Okay.
You know what I mean? That's what I don't like.
Okay.
But, yeah, also, come on, man. Quit it. Unless there's, like, thousands of dollars on the line. But still, you took that risk.
Yeah, how much is on the line? Maybe.
Yeah. Maybe you shouldn't go to this party.
Yeah. That is the right question to ask here. We got tens of thousands of dollars riding on this.
Right.
Don't go. Please.
The show was proving to be really boring, and I also really hated some of the winners. Bohemian Rhapsody for Best Editing? Give me a break. And again, I wasn't quiet with my displeasure. I went on a little rant about Bohemian Rhapsody winning Best Editing, and one other friend who loved Bohemian Rhapsody told me to shut up. I couldn't understand why everyone was so pissy with me. In previous years, we'd all be fine with one person in our group ranting against a winner, and even some other guys had done it tonight as well, but apparently I was the bad guy and they were all ganging up on me. After some more BS winners, Green Book for Screenplay and Rami Malek for Best Actor, it came time for the Best Picture, and that's where things got bad. They announced Green Book as the winner, and I lost control of myself. I shouted, "Are you effing kidding me?" Behind Bohemian Rhapsody, it was the worst of the Best Picture nominees. I kept ranting over the speech from the crew, and the host of the party shushed me. The ceremony ended and we all started talking. We were getting ready to go over the betting pool and see the winner when the host spoke up and said, I just wish Hereditary was nominated for Best Picture. And I spoke up and said, the only reason you liked Hereditary is because there's chocolate cake in it, fat butt.
Oh boy. Getting personal now.
Sorry.
What is happening?
I'm sorry. I've never seen Hereditary, but that's funny. I think that's really funny.
Fat butt.
I think context is important, and I'll get into that in a second. But just the idea of liking a movie because there's chocolate cake in it at some point is hilarious to me. Because how many movies have chocolate cake in them? So many.
American Pie.
Like, it can just be in it and not be a focus. You know what I mean? Is that what he's talking about? Or is it actually a focus in a part of Hereditary?
If we look up what chocolate cake has to do in Hereditary, you may be horrified.
It's true. Let me know in the comments. This friend was noticeably heavy, and I knew this would get a rise of him. I figured that's what he deserved for being such a wiener to me the whole night. He did get pissed at that, and then we got into a brief fight. Our friends broke us apart, and the host yelled at me to leave. I ripped up my betting pool card and yelled that I'm done with everyone at this stupid party, and I left. So that's how the night went. I never wanted to watch this year's Oscars in the first place, and I was right not to. My friends were all ganging up on me for stuff that wasn't out of the ordinary, and the host made me out to be the bad guy. You all commented and kept telling me to just go to the party, and I did just that. Happy? We do have an update from 10 months later. Wow. Okay. I feel like we need to discuss before we get into that update.
There's a lot happening underneath this little iceberg we can actually see.
Yeah.
So much bigger.
Yeah.
P, you are a part of the problem.
OP, I think you are. Even with just how OP lashed out at the comments just now. You all commented telling me to just go to the party and I did it. Happy? I have a feeling.
This is you, buddy.
I have a feeling that you're acting this way towards your friends as well.
This is on you. Why are you going after everyone's throat?
Yeah. Because here's the thing too. The person making the jokes has a big impact on if the joke lands. Like who you are as a person, how people perceive you, makes a big difference on how the joke lands. And I have known some people where it's like, okay, I see what you're trying to say. Like if they try like teasing humor, for example, they don't usually do that. Or when they usually do that, it's like because they actually think that they're better than the other person or something like that. But then they try a joke. And maybe in this joke, they don't think that. And they are just trying to make a harmless, teasing joke like a lot of other people do. But because they usually do it in a condescending way, and they usually don't do the teasing humor, now it doesn't seem like it's a joke. Now it seems real. You know what I mean? Like, it's stuff like that. So I have a feeling that when everyone else is ranting against other people's favorite options, maybe they're either doing it in a different way than you were, or maybe because of your context of ripping on everyone's personal selves, personal choices, whatever, maybe suddenly those same jokes just don't land when you say them, you know?
It's true. It's true. I have to learn what jokes I can and can't say. And Annie's been giving me a really hard time about that recently.
Sorry, it's just you brought it up so many times.
Sorry, it's just that you suck at telling jokes.
It's just you were good.
I get it.
You're good.
I'm working on it.
You're funny. It's just those types.
She doesn't like my jokes. Okay, here's one joke for everybody.
Oh my God. See, he brings it up.
My mom asked, have you done your laundry yet? And I say, no, still in the dryer.
Anyone else still waiting for the joke? Me too. So let us know if you laughed at that joke.
Anyways, good points. You're being a little too harsh, guy. Love yourself.
Just chill out, guys.
What happens 10 months later? Does he have a kid?
I don't even know. Update number 2, 10 months later. Yesterday, I got together with a friend of mine. We'll just call him Mike. And we were going to share our personal top 10 lists for the best movies of 2019.
Good year. Do you feel better about this year's Oscar, my friend?
Me and him are big movie fans, and we get excited to do this every year. I went first, and my list had some mostly mainstream movies on it, and my number 1 favorite ended up being Avengers Endgame.
Which they did a great job creating over the past 12 years. They deserve that.
Mike reacted with, really? That's it? There's so much mainstream garbage on that list. I explained to him that I'm aware that it's not the most well-made cinema of the year, but that it was my personal favorite and that I enjoyed it the most. Mike said, "You're not supposed to enjoy movies. You're supposed to recognize their artistic merit." That comment deserves a slap in the face. I'm sorry. That was the most D-bag thing I've ever heard a man say.
This is what these people do. These are what the people that are like very snobbish when it comes to movies. They are horrible people underneath.
You're not supposed to enjoy movies? What's the point of having any sort of artistic merit if it's not enjoyable?
Come on. It's art.
That's
You're
insane.
just mad. You're just mad you didn't direct it.
That's insane. I hope you meant something different by that, my guy. Mike unveiled his list, and it was mostly a bunch of independent films that I've never heard of. Mike explained that he included movies on his list that he didn't even like, but he still felt obligated to put them on his list because of how artistically made they were, and that he wants to recognize their, quote, high-class filmmaking.
Sheeple. Sheeple.
I have Riley's boot on my foot. I want to take it off my foot, and I want to throw it at this guy.
Sheeple. That is what a sheeple person would do. Oh, I have to pick these movies because they put a lot of hard work in it. I don't really enjoy it. That's the whole thing, man. That's the beauty of it. You don't pick what other people are thinking. You pick what you're thinking because you have your own tone and style and preference.
Exactly.
You don't pick what other people are thinking because it's good. Come on. Your favorite movie is probably Interstellar or like Citizen Kane because that's what people have told you to like.
But then it's like, what happens when this guy starts making movies? Is he's just going to try to throw a bunch of random crap in there to try to make it look as artistic as possible?
Who freaking knows?
And it's not even something that he likes or thinks is good?
Yeah.
That's not all there is, my guy. You're stupid and you deserve the boot being chucked at your head. I decided to flip things on to him. And I told him, really? That's it? There's so much independent garbage on that list. He got all pissed off, and then he started telling me that that was a low blow. And he asked me to leave his place.
Oh, gosh.
Dang, OP, you are not on a good roll with these movies.
Yeah, you're on a love-hate relationship.
Yeah, let's find a different hobby. Me and Mike have usually been on the same page for movies, but he's done a complete 180 ever since Martin Scorsese made his Marvel isn't real cinema comments. In this conflict, I feel like he was being the pretentious one, and I decided to throw it back in his face. Who's the bad guy here? There is another update from another year later, but their verdict from the comments is that everyone sucks here, and I would have to agree.
None of you guys have any emotional intelligence to actually communicate. And you know what the most concerning thing is here? Nobody's respecting anyone's opinion.
Exactly. That's the thing. It's like, just chill out. Like, it's okay to have different opinions on this stuff, especially when it's art. I mean, come on. It's literally art. That's what it is. Everyone is supposed to have their own individual thing. I think everyone sucks here. He was absolutely being pretentious, saying that your mainstream stuff was garbage and only suggesting independent films on his stuff. I think that's super pretentious. But you were also being super petty for just using his words right back at him. If you're gonna do that, you gotta do it in a joking way, my guy. Everyone in this story is just getting so offended by every little comment and taking everything so freaking personally. And I want to throw my boots at you. I want to throw Riley's boots at all of you guys.
Just wearing my boots.
Chill out.
Yep. So what's this update? How much deeper of a hole do you put yourself into, OP?
Honestly, how many more friends are we gonna get kicked out of their house?
Because you can't respect others' opinions.
Yeah.
Honestly, this is what people do with basketball teams too.
Yeah.
They do this all the time. Actually, I don't even know. They have more respect for each other. This is just weird. This is crazy.
Yeah. Now, 1 month later, every year for roughly 10 years, me and my close group of friends have held giant viewing parties for the Oscars. Last year, me and some of them got into a big fight during the viewing party. The fight got heated and insults were thrown. I'll share some of the blame for the fight, and me and a majority of those friends haven't talked since the fight. But I was hoping that they'd be willing to forgive and forget. I called up the guy who hosts the parties and I asked if I was good to come over, but he wasn't having it. He started yelling at me that I have some nerve to ask to attend after the fight last year. He called me an a-hole and he told me to not bother showing up, and he hung up. I texted some other friends who usually attend the parties and they either ignored me or also told me not to come. I really want to just move on and attend the viewing party. How can I talk to my friends and convince them to let me come to the party next week? And we have another update from 8 days later. So next week has happened.
There's a lot of inner work that needs to happen first before you can even go to any viewing party.
I completely agree. Also, apologies. Have we said any of those?
I don't think OP can say the words, I am sorry or I was wrong.
I don't think so.
It's not in their vocabulary.
Yeah. Especially not without the word but after it.
Oh, yeah, there we go.
I mean, like, really, that is crazy. To have a big fight where people had to pull you guys apart and you got booted out of the house and then you don't talk for a year and you ask, hey, am I good to come over next week for the Oscars? Out of nowhere after you haven't heard from this guy in a year? I mean, that's crazy. But we do have another update from 8 days later. I've been faced with the prospect of watching the Oscars alone for the first time in roughly 10 years.
Oh, goodness, OP.
Thought you wanted to do that last year, apparently. So yesterday, I went to his apartment to offer up an apology. Okay, there we go.
Is it a sincere one?
I hope it is. But I hope that you guys listen to full episodes of stories just like this one on Spotify, iHeartRadio, Apple Podcasts, or your favorite podcast app. Just search OK Storytime. There is a little bit more to this story. I'm just going to jump right into it. I went to his apartment and he almost immediately started telling me to leave. But I apologized and I promised that it wouldn't happen again. I admitted that my behavior last year was immature and that I shared most of the blame, but that seemed to piss him off even more. He told me that I shared all of the blame and he called my apology piss poor. He reiterated that I wasn't invited and he told me that he doesn't care to see me ever again. His parting words to me were, everything you touch, you always manage to make a piece of crap out of it. Whoa. I really did try to apologize and be sincere, but he wasn't in a forgiving mood. That's crazy. You're gonna sit here and tell me and everyone else on Reddit that the reason he didn't accept your apology is because he wasn't in a forgiving mood?
He's probably still upset. I don't think anyone here has emotional intelligence to make any progress right now. We all need to give each other some space.
I think we need to not blame him for not accepting your apology.
This is all very toxic.
This is insane.
Over movies.
We're movies.
Movies
Guys,
we have nothing to do a part of but to appreciate.
they're supposed to be fun. That's what we're doing them for.
You made it not fun.
You made it not fun. How dare you? I think that he should have been willing to let the past remain in the past, and I wanted to just go back to the good old days of us watching the Oscars together as friends. I think that my friend is the a-hole for still holding a grudge. What do you think? And that's the end of that story. Here's what I think. I hate it in movies and stuff when you see people say, please forgive me. I hate that because I don't think that you should ever ask for forgiveness. I think you should apologize, give them a reason to forgive you. However, it is completely up to the other person if they will forgive you or not.
Fair.
And you can't just like convince them to do that.
You can't. That's something they have to work through and apologize to you.
Yeah.
Dude, let's work on our people skills and how we approach other people. I think understanding what mutual respect is.
Yes.
Oh my gosh. This is what happens, people, when you don't have respect for others.
Yeah, there's consequences to your actions, man. You can't just like totally crap on someone's personal opinions and personal body figure and expect them to just get over it after not speaking to them for a year.
Yeah.
You simply can't. So I suggest therapy for you, my guy, and perhaps maybe some sort of diagnosis of something. I feel like there's something there. Something that you can get some help for and clarity.
Guys, that's the end of this episode. Thanks for hanging out with us. This was fun. But guys, if you love us, make sure to subscribe.
We love you.
And see you tomorrow. Yo, don't leave yet. Please don't exit out of this video. We have more stories for you, and I know you got more stuff to do, so hang around.
My grandmother thinks she can control my life, but I'm 27 years old.
She's your grandma. Listen to her.
Hey, what grandma says goes, all right?
Yeah.
End of story.
Respect your elders.
All right, we're going to go to the next one.
I side with grandma.
So to start off, I, 27 female, have lived with my gran, 77 female, all of my life. She raised my older brother and I, and for that, I am eternally grateful. However, even though I love her, I have to admit that my gran has always been extremely entitled, controlling, and even manipulative, mostly regarding my life in particular. And by the way, this comes from user White Wolf Dreamer, and if you want to submit your own stories, go to the r/OK Storytime subreddit. So, I still live at home, and I act as her caretaker, as well as helping out my autistic brother. And because someone has made the accusation before, no, that doesn't mean I'm just mooching off of her. I actually take care of her. I cook her meals, I clean up for her, I help her bathe, I do her hair and help her get dressed. I help her get to the bathroom and clean up after. I help her sort out her meds, I run errands, and I do the shopping. As I'm the only one who can drive. I help her get to her appointments. I push her wheelchair whenever she needs it. And I do anything and everything else that she needs. I have been doing most of these things since I was still in high school. Yes, she pays for everything, but that's only because she hasn't allowed me to get a job in almost 8 years. Always telling me things like, oh, what if you were at work, but I really needed you, among other things. Even when I did have a job, she took all but a fraction of every paycheck to put towards bills, which I was fine with at the time because I felt like it was only fair to pay my share since I finally had an income. Every time I bring up looking for a job now, she has a million reasons to keep me from doing so. Most recently, though, she's taken to hating my boyfriend, 24 male of 6 years, for pretty much no real reason besides dating me. She talks crap about him constantly, calling him useless and good for nothing, insulting him behind his back on an almost daily basis, even though he's bent over backwards to help me out in many situations. She makes comments like, he must not love you very much since he never comes around, but then she pitches a fit every time he asks me on a date, and the only time she ever wants him coming to our house is when she can exploit him, like roping him into moving furniture or cleaning out the garage. She makes backhanded remarks about how we've been together for 6 years, but he's never proposed, but then raises all get out if I spend more than a couple of hours with him on a date. She's even told me, you know, I'd like for you to give me a grandchild sometime before I move on to the next dimension. But she loses her mind if my boyfriend even so much as kisses me anywhere near her. My boyfriend is the sweetest, kindest, most hardworking guy I've ever known, and he treats me better than anyone ever has in my life. He even has a great job and makes a decent living, owns his own home and car, and is very good about finances. But she still has to nitpick every little thing about him to try and turn me against him. She even talks crap about his family, the mother and brother, even though they also treat me extremely well. And no matter how much I defend any of them, she won't stop. This is like, to me, it's a reading of either one or two things. Like, grandma's getting some like early onset, like Alzheimer's, dementia type stuff. She's getting a little nasty. Or your grandma is just been manipulating you for so long that she can't stand the thought of losing you to your own independence.
I was gonna say that's probably the second option, because the grandma, other than like with OP taking care of her with all those other needs, but she seems fine other than that.
Yeah.
It seems like the grandma just has you around and knows you're going to stay around because you don't want to leave. I know you want to leave, but you haven't done it yet. And so she's just has you wrapped around her finger. Is that the way?
Right. Yeah.
I think it's time to free yourself and just move on and be the person you want to be.
This kind of came to a head the other night. For context, we've just been informed by our landlord that come June 2023, he's selling the house we're renting. So unless we can come up with $30K and buy it from him, we'll have to move. That's a whole different can of worms in and of itself. But what floored me was that a few nights ago, she went from insulting my boyfriend's hair to maybe we should move 2 states away so you can get away from him, in the same breath. And no, she wasn't joking. I've been with him for 6 years, but she wants me to move away from him because she hates him. Now, as far as us possibly having to move out in a year, she 100% assumes that I most definitely have to move with her and my brother to keep taking care of them. No exceptions. My boyfriend and I are already talking about sitting down with her to discuss my moving in with him instead. And I'm dreading that discussion because I know it won't go well. All she's done for years is depend on me to the point that she actively refused outside help because Bunny can just do it. If she refuses to move to a retirement or assisted living home, and to make things worse, she's already decided that after she's gone, I will be taking over full care of my brother without even considering what I want to do with my life.
This is
such a hard position to be forced into.
I kind of get that feeling.
The forced caretaker position. It's like, and now if you want your own life, you're a terrible person.
Yeah.
It's not fair.
If you leave, you're a monster. And if you do anything that you want to do, you're a monster. And I wouldn't have that conversation with your boyfriend there, because she's going to spin it and use your boyfriend as the scapegoat. You have to do it for yourself.
I don't know. I think I might want the backup. And I think if she starts berating him, then he can be right there to back himself up.
I guess, but I was going to say, this is a conversation for OP to have with her grandma. This is between them.
That's where the boundaries being set for sure between them.
And I think that's then like, okay, if she doesn't want to agree, then bring your boyfriend and be like, hey, this is what's going to happen.
Yeah. I just know she's going to go postal and lay on a massive guilt trip when I finally tell her I want to move out entirely. But I want to get on with my own life. I'm tired tired of my gran thinking she's entitled to my life. I'm sorry I don't have a conclusion for this right now. I'll try to post an update when we finally talk to her. Any advice for that conversation is welcome. I'll need all the help I can get. And we do have an update. I've come to the decision that I'm moving out by the end of summer at the very latest. I haven't told Gran yet, but I will sometime in the next couple of weeks after I've made a few more preparations. My boyfriend and his family are behind me no matter what she says or does, and I'm fully prepared to dispute any guilt trip she might throw at me over my decision. I wanted to say thank you to the people who left supportive comments and advice on my original post. I can't even express how good it feels to have so many people on my side. If any of you are reading this, please know that I'm taking your advice to heart and doing what I can to be prepared for the move. I'll make another comment after I've finally told Gran if anyone's interested. Wish me luck. Edit, wanted to add, one thing I'm most worried about regarding moving out is what my Gran will want to do about my dog. Her name is on his vet record because she made me give them her name instead of mine when we first got him. She buys his food and pays for his basic care, like the yearly shots and flea treatments, only because, as I said in my original post, I'm not allowed to work, so I have no money. When we got him, she insisted that he was my dog, and she continued calling him my dog. And I do everything for him. I've trained him, I feed him, I walk him, I bathe him, I clip his nails. I don't ask my gran or my brother to do any of that because, again, he's my dog. I love him so much, and I couldn't imagine losing him, but I'm worried that when I tell her I'm leaving, she'll insist on keeping him out of spite since he's hers as far as his records go. Hey, just go ahead and don't listen to that. Just take the dog.
Go to the vet. I feel like you can change it because, like, hey, my grandma's old. I want to switch the names. I want to switch the ownership of the dog into my name.
And I would tell him a little bit of the rest of the context as well, where it's like she's going to get vindictive. She's going to try to legally take the dog away from me.
They might need her approval because it is in her name. But again, she's like, oh, she's got to move.
Yeah, but I do love my dog, and I know for a fact that she and my brother won't be able to take care of him without me because she's disabled and my brother is lazy. I'm not sure what I would do in that case, so any advice would be welcome. Literally just ignore it. That's what I would say. It's like, I don't think anyone's going to back up your, like, the notion that your 77-year-old disabled, like, grandma should be, like, forcibly taking the rights to care for the dog away from you because she can't do it.
She can't take care of herself. So yeah, I think no one's going to press you on that matter. But again, you got to talk to grandma first.
All right, we have another update. Hello, friends. I wanted to stop in. Small update on my situation. My boyfriend and I have decided to talk to Gran on the 25th. I've been cleaning, organizing, and packing up my things to the best of my ability without alerting my Gran or brother. And I've located and secured all of my important legal documents. A solid plan has been made for Gran to make payments to own the house, so she and my brother won't have to move after all. We've decided to tell her before the contract is finalized so she won't be able to use it to keep me in the house. I'm incredibly nervous about telling her, but I'll be glad to get it done. I'll come back with the results after then. Wish me luck. Thank you all again for all your support. It means the world to me. And yes, the securing of the documents, very important. We've got another update. Hello, friends. An update on the situation. My boyfriend and I finally told Gran that I'm ready to move out, and she was, quite surprisingly, rather okay with it.
Oh. Whoa!
Ooh, what a twist!
She's been testing you, and
wow,
she's been testing you this entire time.
Is this maybe a little reverse psychology?
I don't know, but she's been like, "Oh, I've been waiting for you to say this. I've been waiting for this day.
Yeah,
for the last 9 years.
You finally passed the test.
You did it."
She did start off with the expected, "Why do you want to leave? And what am I supposed to do?" questions, and sprinkled in some things about still needing help with certain tasks. But in the end, she admitted she figured it would happen eventually, and that she can't stop me. She didn't even argue about wanting to keep my dog and admitted he'd be too much for her and my brother to handle. We did offer to help her find a cat or a smaller dog to keep her company, something that she and my brother could take care of more easily than a 40-pound bag of energized muscle. Because she was so amicable about it, I told her that I'm willing to stick around long enough to help make sure that her rent-to-own contract with the landlord goes through all right. She signs it on the 30th, but I won't be co-signing since I won't be living here. And she's admitted that my brother needs to learn to start taking care of himself and doing normal housework, so she's going to start looking into services to help him with that, as well as a better home care service, so Gran will still have a bit of help when I'm gone. Her only stipulation was that she wants my boyfriend and I to be married before I move in with him. Yeah, we're prepared to fight her a bit on that front, since it would mean another year or more of waiting while we set it up, and we've already been together for nearly 7 years at this point. But if need be, we don't mind getting engaged just to prevent a fight. To clarify, we do want to get married at some point, but I don't want to keep staying at home as a live-in maid for over a year while we get a wedding planned. And I don't want to get married just because she wants me to. We'll get married when we want to. But we don't mind an official engagement in the meantime, since we're practically engaged already, minus the ring. I'm honestly so surprised that she took it so well. Here's hoping she doesn't change her mind when it comes time to start moving things out. I'd like to say another big thanks to everyone who's been supporting and encouraging through all of this. It's been such a godsend to realize all your comments, and I'm forever grateful to have such lovely people at my back. I'll come back in a couple of weeks with hopefully my final update. Update number 4. I moved out. Yes.
You did it.
It worked.
Wow.
This is
it's like we
what
said.
a turnaround. I just got up for my first night spent in a new place. So far, I'm still adjusting, as is my dog, but I'm confident everything will work out. My gran gave me some grief when I told her I was finally making the move, but it was nothing major. She threw out some, "You're just abandoning us? And why do you need to live with him so badly?" But she quieted down as we were loading up my things. In all honesty, I think she might have been more sad than angry, for right now at least. But I think she and my brother got through the night just fine without me. So here's hoping everyone can be happier with this arrangement. I've got a lot of cleaning and unpacking to do, so I'm signing off for now. Thanks again to everyone for their encouragement and well wishes. And we have another update. Hello, friends. It's been quite a while since I updated this situation, and that's because I've spent the last 3 months in a very precarious balancing act. I finally decided 3 months ago to tell my grandma I'll be moving in with my boyfriend of 7 years, and she seemed oddly okay with it, so I've been taking my time to pack and move my stuff bit by bit so I could also help her out by cleaning and organizing the house and figure out ways for her and my brother to get by without me being there 24/7. We've had a number of household calamities during that time, including having to replace a number of old fixtures that all broke down at once. So I've been doing what I can to help with all of that, even though it's forced me to put off moving for even longer. Problem is, the more time passes and the more things I move, my gran has gotten less and less okay with me moving. She snarls at me every time I haul out a set of boxes, saying everything from, "You know he's gonna keep all your stuff and throw you out on the street if you break up, right?" to, "He'll make you throw most of your crap out since he won't want all of that crowding his house." She keeps implying that my boyfriend will make me get rid of my dog because he has cats, even though he's never indicated such a thing and has actually made a lot of plans to make it easier to socialize them. And of course, there are the guilt trips. I've done my absolute best to be civil and mature, debating and explaining things to her rather than fighting, staying in the house way longer than I even intended to, just to help her out and be the bigger person. But now I'm done. My boyfriend took me out for lunch today and we hung out for a while. I gave her over an hour's notice before we left and she didn't tell me she needed anything. We were gone a couple hours and she didn't say anything when I came home. Cut to dinner time and she starts passively aggressively talking crap about me to my brother, knowing I was in the room, about how I just took off to have lunch and didn't give a crap if either of them ate. And after 3 months of holding my tongue and playing nice, I snapped. We fought for a bit and she ended up complaining about how I spend all my time with my boyfriend and don't care about her. And I told her that at almost 28 years old, I don't need permission to be an adult. And she said, "Well, you want to leave? Then go. You'll regret walking out on your brother and me as soon as you do." Just ignoring the fact that I've been systematically moving for the last 3 months already. So I'm done. I haven't spoken to her for the last couple of hours and I already texted my boyfriend telling him that I'll be moved out by the end of the week. That gives me enough time to pack the last of my stuff and get it hauled out, and him enough time to get everything set for me to move in. Plus, he works the rest of the week and won't be free to help me until Friday. By Friday, I plan to be moved no matter what Gran says or does. Expect an update Friday or Saturday on the move. I imagine Gran's gonna have more to say by then, but I'm through with playing her games. Wish me luck.
Good luck.
By the way, we have a 5th update. Let's get into it. Hello, friends. It's been a while since my last update. I thought I'd check in with one last update for anyone who was interested. I've been living with my boyfriend for about a month now, and things are going really well. In fact, my boyfriend is now my fiancé.
Oh, we saw that one coming.
Congratulations.
Nice. Congrats.
Gran has cooled down a lot, though she still gets a bit testy when I haven't talked to her for a few days. She and my brother got a kitten to keep them company, and I've been very impressed by how much my brother has actually stepped up to help out since I've moved. I visit and chat with them a couple of times a week, and I even had a Thanksgiving with them and then one with my fiance's family the next day. What a beautiful compromise.
2 Thanksgivings.
Woo! And you know what? You can have 2 Thanksgivings.
What?
Because at any point, you can listen to full episodes with stories like this one. All you have to do is go to Spotify or Apple Podcasts or wherever you get your podcasts from and search OK Storytime. And there you have it. 2 Thanksgivings.
I'm so full.
A Thanksgiving for the eyes and a Thanksgiving for the ears. I mean, we we have a little bit of story left here, but I
think
don't
this is
even
great.
think there's anything to say.
No,
It's like
this is OP did everything that OP needed to do, and look how it's turned out. Yeah, it had a couple obstacles, a couple like little road bumps there, but you made it.
you stood firm. As for me, I've been slowly adjusting to life without strict rules and restrictions. Fiance and his family have been amazing to me. Anytime I've started to struggle or get overwhelmed with the change, they're right there to talk me down. It's amazing to feel so much love and support from family. They've helped me get settled in and got me some things I've never had all to myself before, like a lovely set of cooking pans. Even my dog has settled into the new place very well, and I take him over to see Gran every now and then. So far, things have been working out well, and I'm hoping they get even better as everyone gets used to the new rhythm of life. I want to thank everyone here that supported and encouraged me through this whole ordeal. You all helped me keep a level head going into the move, and you're all amazing. And
Thanks, you're amazing.
and that's the end of that story, and you're amazing. That was a great story. I mean, a lot of times the stories don't end with that good of an ending, but I'm so glad everything worked out for the best.
It's one of those things, and I think we said at the very beginning, at the end of the day, sometimes you just got to focus on yourself and you got to live your life. You did your time, you served that time for grandma and your brother, and you did a great job, and they should be more appreciative of that. But you did it. You deserve to have a life to yourself.
That's right.
Though I guess the one thing we just need to know is what's going to happen to brother and grandma when they move, but it seems like all is going to be well.
Yeah, I'm confident they'll be able to figure out their next situation, whatever it needs to be.
And guess what? I know for a fact OP is going to be there to support and help them when they need it.
Everything's, seems like everything came from a place of love. She's just exhausted. She's like, I just can't take this anymore.
Yeah.
You have to love, if you're going to sacrifice a decade of your life essentially to take care of someone else, you definitely love that person.
And the same thing to those who are listening or viewing this. If you are the grandma in the situation where you don't want your loved one or the one like your little loved one, you don't want them to go, you got to let them free. Eventually, it's got to happen. Either they're going to fight you on it or you're going to do it, naturally.
She literally said, she's like, I knew this was going to happen.
Yeah, it's got to happen eventually. And you just got to support them and not be as petty as grandma was being here, but you got to let that happen.
Yeah, don't guilt trip your relatives, people. Come on. Don't be
Support
guilt tripping
them.
your relatives. But you know what? I'm going to guilt trip y'all into not going anywhere because we got another story.
Ooh.
And I'm going to feel so upset if you do not stay to listen to it. So don't go anywhere.
My sister's family made shameful comments about my daughter, so we're avoiding gatherings now.
Ding-a-ling-a-ling. Shame. Hey guys, just really quick before we get into the story, there's a trigger warning. There's like some phobia, like phobic comments, just contexts in the story. So if you don't want to hear anything about that, go ahead and skip this one.
I, 34 female, have a preteen daughter, 11 female, who is a trans girl. She hasn't started puberty blockers yet, but she's already made a lot of changes. Wearing dresses, growing out her hair, and speaking in a more feminine voice. She's thriving, and I'm so proud of her for being herself. By the way, this comes from user AccurateOkra4783, and if you want to submit your own stories, go to r/OKStorytime subreddit. However, things got pretty complicated with my sister. Her name's Sarah, and her family. I'm wondering if I'm in the wrong for how I've been handling things. Sarah has always been more than just a sister to me. Growing up, we didn't have a dad, and our mom struggled with substance use disorder. Sarah basically raised me, and when I had my daughter, she was always there for us. After our mom got sober, she's been clean for 10 years now, she rejoined the family. But Sarah's been like a second mom to me and my daughter. That's why this situation is so hard for me, and I really don't want to cause any rifts. Sarah's husband, Tim, is very conservative, and while I've never heard him directly say anything hateful about my daughter or people, I overheard him once, thinking was in another room, saying that people don't exist, and that my daughter should dress like a boy until she's 18. That moment really stuck with me, but I didn't confront him about it because I was so shocked. A while back, my daughter and I went to a family dinner at Sarah's. Everything was fine until my nephew, Sarah's son, 12 years old, said something that really hurt my daughter. He told her that she wasn't a girl and that she had male genitalia because God gave it to her. This was devastating for my daughter, and we had to leave early because she was crying. I didn't want to make a scene, but I can tell my daughter was crushed. The next day, I met with Sarah for coffee and told her what happened. She was incredibly apologetic and promised that it would never happen again. She assured me that Tim didn't share those views and that she was unaware he was transphobic until my daughter's transition started. I appreciated her trying to be supportive, but when we went back for the next family dinner, things took a turn. During dinner, we all held hands to pray, and when it came time for my daughter to join in, my nephew refused to hold her hand. He called her a gross Franny. I didn't hear this directly, but my daughter came to me afterwards, upset and crying. My nephew seemed confused and didn't say anything when I asked him about it, but I trust my daughter. She's not the type to lie about something like that. She just wants to be accepted. Sarah claims my nephew didn't say anything, but I'm not sure what to think. I know she doesn't share Tim's views, but at the same time, I can't ignore the possibility that Tim's influence is seeping into the kids, even if it's not being said outright. Since then, I've been avoiding family gatherings because I just don't feel it's a safe environment for my daughter. I don't want her to go through more hurtful moments like this. I don't want to cause a rift with Sarah. She's been such a huge part of my life and my daughter's life, and the thought of breaking up our family over this is very devastating. But at the same time, I have to protect my daughter and make sure she feels accepted and loved. So, am I the a-hole for not spending time with Sarah's family? I feel like I'm doing what's best for my daughter, but I don't want to damage the relationship with my sister either. We have some comments, but Dakota, what do you think?
You're not the a-hole. I think you just, and if that's how you feel, like you really communicate that with your sister, where it's like, hey, seems like we're 0 for 2 right now. My daughter comes over and spends time with your family and she gets very upset because of what people are saying.
And there's mean comments, and is your son, and I just want to set that boundary. But also I would talk to your daughter and see how, if there is a way to move past this, or what we can do, communicate it with son, like with the cousin in this case, what you can do. But you're doing the right thing, you're mama bearing everything, and you want to do right for your daughter, which I appreciate.
Yeah.
And this right now, you are not the a-hole, you're doing the right thing, but you do need to talk to everyone in this picture before it gets worse and worse.
Yeah, you do, to try to reconcile, but I really do think that you need to.
No, you're doing the right thing.
It's the hard. You're not being the a-hole, but it's like you probably need to have the hard talk that, like, not everybody is going to accept you for who you are, because we don't live in a perfect world.
No. So we're going to comments here. We have a couple. Comment 1. I think you're commendable for looking out for your child. It's the right thing to do. What I'm stuck on is your nephew looking confused when you asked him about it. Not sheepish, guilty, scared, or any other way that would indicate he actually said it, but confused. Confused to me seems like he has no idea what you are talking about. No one heard it at the dinner table with multiple people but your daughter. You might need to consider that he did not actually say that. Maybe ask your sister to come out with you and your daughter. She should bring your nephew along, go on a nice outing together, and then sit down and talk about this incident. Then speak about how we needed to respect people and be kind. Make a discussion out of it with the 2 kids. We do have a reply. He might have been confused because he didn't think there was anything wrong with what he said, and another reply, or because he's just repeating what he heard. Comment number 2. You can only support one, and only one is the person you brought into the world for the sole purpose of supporting. We have an update, and we're gonna go straight into it. Apologies for not responding sooner to comments. The attention this post received was overwhelming, and I needed some time to process it all. First, I want to address the trolls. I get the urge to respond to them, but let's be real. These people are just attention-seeking bullies. Our responses only fuel their negativity and give them the platform they crave. Please do not waste your energy on them. To those who message me individually asking questions about people and their experiences, while I can tell some of you are genuinely curious, I can't help but suspect that for others, it's a way to project more phobia under the guise of understanding. If you're genuinely interested in learning, there are countless resources available online that can give you a far deeper and more articulate understanding of the experience than I can. I know this firsthand from helping my own daughter, and I encourage you to explore those resources. Now, onto the update. I knew I'd have to talk to my sister eventually, but I really appreciate all the advice and support that came through the comments. It was invaluable. I had a one-on-one conversation with my sister where I explained that her family was not providing a safe space for my daughter. I told her that I loved her and wanted to maintain our relationship, but that I couldn't continue to be in contact unless there were significant changes. She was understandably upset and defensive, particularly of her son. She fixated on the dinner incident. While I tried to explain that it wasn't just about that one event, there were other instances like my nephew asking my daughter why she didn't want to go to heaven, or asking me if she was mentally ill. Sarah, my sister, was there for both of those moments, so I was shocked she hadn't seen the pattern herself. Yesterday, my sister reached out and asked if we could meet with her and Tim. She apologized for not listening earlier and said she wanted to find a solution. I agreed, and they came over after work. I sent my daughter to the neighbors. She didn't need to be part of that conversation. When they arrived, they were surprised that our daughter wasn't there. I told them that the conversation could be harmful to her, even if they didn't understand why. Tim was visibly upset, but I asked them if they were really ready for this conversation, and they both said they were.
Really quick, I want to point out that I think that was a great move to take the daughter out of that situation, because then you don't want her to feel like she's being attacked, or like she's overwhelmed, where it's like she's being ganged up on by literally her own family.
two
it's like
adults, yeah.
Like maybe, yeah, probably for the best to keep her away from that.
The conversation itself was difficult, to say the least. Tim did most of the talking. I brought up a comment that I had overheard him say, that my daughter should just be a boy until she's 18. He asked me why my daughter couldn't just be normal until she was old enough to make her own decisions. I asked if he had ever done any research about youth to genuinely understand what my daughter is going through. He had said he had all the information he needed and started going off on a diatribe about puberty blockers, which, by the way, my daughter isn't even on. I told him that we were taking her seriously, that she goes to therapy every other week and is involved in local queer/support groups where she could talk to other girls and women about their experiences. Tim's response was that they were the blind leading the blind. At that point, my husband is usually calm and collected, was so upset that he yelled at them to leave. We'd never seen him like that before, and I think that made them realize how serious the situation was. They scurried out pretty quickly after that. This morning, my sister called crying and apologizing profusely. She was disgusted by Tim's behavior and asked me what she should do. I told her that I didn't know, but I was certain that our families couldn't spend time together until something changed. I'm especially let down because for a moment, the meeting gave me hope, but Tim completely shattered that hope. He didn't even try. He went off on so many horrible things, not just transphobic, but also sexist and homophobic. It was hard to follow because he just veered from one hateful rant to the other. It's difficult to imagine that someone with that mindset has the capacity to grow or change. Well, with that being said, this is not the best way to segue into this, but you can listen to full episodes with stories just like this. Just go to Spotify, Apple Podcasts, or wherever you get your podcast from, and search OK Storytime, and we'll be there. There's a little bit more left to this story, Dakota. I'm very hopeful because it looks like OP and her husband are the parents that should be that figure, parents all around.
Yes, no, this is what supporting your child looks like to like the fullest extent. I do think, and I'm not even necessarily assuming they haven't, I'm just saying it's like, this is a great context. It's because it's hard and it's like you have family members who are not accepting you. So it's like you do need to have the conversation of like, here's how to move through this experience, right? Or try to help your daughter move through this experience instead of just shutting it out and trying to put it in like a box or something. You know what I mean?
Just the fact. Well, I'm upset at Sarah in this situation. So OP's sister, that she didn't say anything when Tim was talking most of the time. The fact that she just sat there and just didn't say anything until the next day. Oh, she's calling and crying. Like, where were you in that moment?
Well, they probably don't have the best dynamic. You know, I mean, like Tim's probably not a very good guy. I bet you Tim doesn't like it when his wife stands up to him.
But let's go ahead and finish this story. While that conversation was deeply painful, I'm also grateful it was so clear. It's never been so obvious what needs to happen, and I don't feel any guilt about it anymore. Thank you to everyone who gave advice, support, and validation. Your words helped me clear up the fog of what ifs that was clouding my judgment and gave me the confidence to move forward. I appreciate every single one of you who supported my family. Thank you. And that is the end of that story.
And thank you for your story.
Thank you. At this point, you want what's best for your child. You got to do that. If you need to cut off the ties, especially Tim, seems like Sarah again is in a hard place to figure it out, but wants to be there for you and your daughter and your family.
But that is the end of that story.